Pelican State. We outside. We in the booth where the dirt fly high. Chalk line, bright sun, ball up in the sky. From Shreveport down to that Gulf Coast sand. We rolling through the state with a glove in our hand. Let's go! Cleats on fire when they hit that field. Got a cannon in the arm that swings so real. If you hustle every inning, it's your time. Rising stars on deck, get in line. Pelican State, rising stars. We lit, all-star dreams. Whole team going hit. 446 rolling through, yo-yo.
And good evening, softball fans, and welcome to an episode of The Dash for Frash. And, we've got a good one tonight for you. We're going to go through some scores and a couple of recaps of some of the games around the way. But again, this is your show that we're doing. So make sure if you've got a big highlight, if you've got something, put that down in the comments, and we're going to get it up on the stage as well. We are going to be joined at 8:40 by just a couple of the folks from Patrick Taylor, having a tremendous season, and so they'll be around in the studio around 8:40. We've got Coach Tyler Cox coming in from Glenbrook that'll be with us around 9 o'clock. We've got a great night, but again, this show is for you. If you've got home runs that have happened, if you've got, if you've got a big pitching performance, if you've got some highlights from this past weekend that you want to talk about, drop it down in the comments, and we'll get that on there for you as well. So before we get the Patrick Taylor folks in here too, and look, I'm telling you what, if Lance Rain is as exciting here as he is just in the text and the messages that I've talked to him about, this is going to be a great show. And he's got a young prospect down there that's having a tremendous season too, and we'll be excited to talk with her. We of course let everybody know who it was earlier, and so they're excited about that. We know the folks way down there at Patrick Taylor. Well, I don't guess it's way down there to them, but it's way down there to us, and they'll join us here in a little while. But let's take a look at some of the things that already that we have seen today. A couple of walk-offs that happened, North Vermilion and Pine Prairie. Callie Gibson goes seven innings that game, strikes out 15 Pine Prairie batters, and that's difficult to do. That Pine Prairie team is one that's been swinging the bat very well. It ended in a 1-0 game there, just the one double at the end of it that scored the run. North DeSoto, they're back on the winning ways, 6-0. They beat Natchitoches Central. Macy Cameron, 17 strikeouts on the night. Leighton Ross and Emma Beringer had home runs. Chloe Curtis added a couple of hits in that one as well. Barb and Kinder. Barb wins that one 11-2. Bailey Scott, a 3-for-5 night with 3 RBI, a home run. Ella Kay had a home run in that one as well. Aubrey Ash goes 7 innings. Didn't allow an earned run in that. Gave up a couple of runs, but none of them were earned in that one. Oak Grove and Sterlington. We saw both of those teams this weekend when we were up at that tournament in Quitman. Oak Grove 2-1, and they get a walk-off double from Fallon Moore. Kinley Cox continues to do what she continues to do. She goes 7 innings strong, had 5 strikeouts, and just allowed the 1 earned run. But again, that was the second walk-off that we saw tonight. Oh, here comes another one. Darbone Woods and Quitman in a huge, huge game tonight. Darbone Woods in that division with Calvary. Quitman, back-to-back Class B champions on that one. Jolie Bennett, who is what Jolie Bennett is. We saw a double play that she made in that Quitman tournament this weekend, and fakes the throw to first, gets the runner to commit, whirls and throws, and they get a double play home to third in that one. Jolie Bennett leads off the game there. She walks it off, has a single at the end of it that she gets. She goes 2 for 3 on the night, a couple of runs scored, a couple of RBI. Charlie Alford 2 for 4. She had 4 RBI on the night and a home run to lead off the bottom of the 7th when they trailed that one. Kinsley Isaac is somebody that I wanted to talk about too. She is an 8th grader, a 2030 class. And I wish they would just go back to freshman and sophomore, but I guess when you have 8th graders in there, that's going to happen on it. But she is an 8th grader, a 2030 class. And I'm telling you, if you don't know about Kinsley Isaac, Kenzlie, she can bring it from the circle. She is going to be somebody that we talk about on this show for a long time. Maggie Guyot had a home run. She had the 2-0 lead. Matter of fact, it was a 4-run first inning for Quitman in that one. It was tied at 5-5 in the fifth. Quitman goes up 7-5 in the sixth inning of that one, but in the bottom of the seventh, Darbone Wood scores 3. Fudge singled to tie it at 7. And then that's when the walk-off came around. So that gives us a little bit of what's going on. Let's check and see if anybody's commenting on there for that. And that's what we want you to do. So look, when our friends from Patrick Taylor get on too, if you've got a comment, if you've got a question for them too, pop it in the chat, whether you are on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're at, let's do that. But that's going to give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on around. A lot of scores to look at. I tell you what, let's jump on before we get them in here and look at the tops of the power ratings first. Let's drop down into Class B. Stanley and Quitman and Hicks battling there, 1, 2, and 3. Stanley has led it pretty much wire to wire the way that they go. Northside Christian sits at 12-2. They have about a 4 percentage point lead over Maurepas, so that's going to be difficult to catch them. Over in the, let's see, where did they go to? There you go. In that non-select division, Walker had probably the biggest week out of anybody. Walker comes in and they beat East Ascension, Santa Ma, and Parkview Baptist all in the same week. And if you don't think that goes a long way in solidifying your number one ranking, the folks at Walker are doing it. Walker number 1, Sam Houston sits there at number 2, Santa Ma, East Ascension, and Destrehan in that order. You look down a little bit further than that. Let's jump over. Well, no, let's stay with North DeSoto. North DeSoto, Lutcher, Bruley, North Vermilion. North Vermilion, the Lady Patriots with that big 1-0 win today. So they're going to, if not move up to 3, it's going to be close. Lakeshore and Iota sitting around there as well. And we roll down into Division 3, which is one that's going to get a lot of attention. Gina and Kiet Cooper leading the way there at 20-3 on the season. Big tournament this weekend. All Kiet does is no-hit airline and come back and throw a one-hitter against Darbone in the nightcap. Kaplan, number 2, French Settlement, Pine Prairie, Sterlington, Winfield, number of teams rolling around in there. And then in Division 4, LaSalle, Logansport, Lakeside, Maryville, and Oak Grove. But we'll start putting our graphics out on that tomorrow. Let's go ahead and jump in. It looks like we are visited. Let's see if, well, I don't see it. I see that camera, so that's pretty cool. Coach, are you there with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't see him, so let's get Leah in here. Leah, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. All right, just so I don't butcher this from the start, pronounce your last name for me.
Godoy.
Godoy. Yeah, just like I was thinking that it was. There you go. So you're class of 2029, right?
2028. I'm a sophomore.
You're 2028. Okay. All right. Well, still, tell me a little bit. You're Patrick Taylor. Tell everybody that may not be familiar with Patrick Taylor where you guys are from.
We're from Westwego, Avondale. We're Advanced Academy, so we're kind of like Haynes, if you heard of them. But we're down in Westwego.
I got you. All right. So when you go and you play and you travel, what's the furthest that you guys have went and played this year?
This year, I think we traveled about an hour and a half away. I think it was the St. James game, which is pretty far.
There you go. There's Coach. He joins us there. He's multitasking and have a couple of screens open there. But, Coach, we've been visiting with Leah, but welcome aboard. Coach Lance Rain joins us, the head coach of Patrick Taylor Lady Tigers. Coach, can you hear us there?
What you doing?
Uh-oh. Leah, is that about how practice goes? Or is practice a little more normal than that?
It's a little bit more normal.
Look, we're gonna try to get him as he's spinning around. Let's get him. Coach, you there with us now?
I'm here now. Yep. Sorry about that.
All right, we got you. She didn't drive the bus over you either. She told you that practice was a lot better than the technical side of it.
That's it. That's definitely my strong suit. Technical
Uh-oh.
stuff's not.
Leah, looks like he's still having trouble on there. So we'll visit with you. Tell everybody a little bit about you and what position you play and some of those things that may not know.
So I mentioned earlier, I'm a sophomore at Patrick Taylor, but I'm a catcher. I've been catching for I think about 4 years now. It's been since like my first year of 12U.
There you go. Coach, are you with us now?
I'm here. Hey, can
Uh-oh.
you hear?
We may have to.
Can
Yeah,
y'all
there
hear
you
me?
go. I got you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, it's in and out.
Tell her to turn it off.
There you go. Coach, tell us if you can hear us.
Yes,
There you
I can
go.
hear you.
Now I think I heard it a little better there.
Okay. Yep,
Okay.
I'm here.
Coach, tell us a little bit about Patrick Taylor and the program.
Man, it's a great school. The academic side of things are just phenomenal. Like our team GPA was a 4.42. It's a weighted GPA, obviously, but very, very high academics. But as far as the sports program, we have some fantastic teams. Our athletic director is amazing, Brad Womack. Athletics is a big part of the high school experience. And so they're trying to make everything really big at Patrick Taylor, and we want it to feel really big. So softball is one of those things, and it's been a very successful season. I've only been there for 2 years, and we've had two really great seasons so far, and looking for more.
What is it about that team down there? It just seems everything that we look at, the chemistry is so good. Of course, your pitcher I saw just went over 700 strikeouts in her career. That's an amazing stat.
Yeah, that definitely helps a lot. Ashton's our only senior. She's a huge leader on this team. The girls respect everything she says. She's got just an unbelievable work ethic, which is kind of translated into the rest of the team. She's a great teammate. And when your best players are your best teammates, you can be successful. And she really wraps her arms around those younger kids and brings them in and lets them feel a part of everything. So she makes things a whole lot easier for us. And then, I mean, of course, we have a bunch of amazing players like Leah, Olivia Palmisano. We just all of our kids are great kids and really quality, high character type kids.
Look, and that's certainly what we expect on there. Leah, let's ask you a little bit about that. How has it been catching Ashton? I mean, she pounds the strike zone, no doubt about it. But how has that been?
It's been amazing. Like she's one of those pitchers that it just never stops, and like that's what I love about her. I've always been really like competitive, and I've had a really hard work ethic like my whole life, and it's amazing having a pitcher who's just like me. And she's always so encouraging and kind. Like if I make an error, I can always count on her to be there, like pull me up and tell me it's gonna be okay and help me move past it. And then like if we miss a play, I can count on her to get the next strikeout.
Look, that's an interesting question. So more than just the softball side of it or the gameplay side of it too, to have such a great leader like that as a senior, what does that do to you that lifts your game? Because you're going to be a junior and senior before you know it. What do you do now to take that and get some of those younger players that are coming up?
I would say like with Ashton for like a minute. Ashton's really inspiring, and I try to take a lot from her. And I noticed how like she really tries to help young kids, and that's something I want to carry on with me. So like kids, I have a catcher. Her name's Haley. I love working with her. We go hitting on the weekends, and I help her with catching. And that's like my goal. I want to make sure that even when I leave, even after I graduate, I know the girls feel secure in their spots, and I know I helped them. I left an impact on my team.
Look, I can see Coach down there right now. It's like, don't rush that. Don't rush that at all.
No, definitely not. I'm enjoying having Leah here, but I mean, it's great to have kids like that feel that tie to a program. It's not just we're just going to be on a team for a couple of years. This is they're trying to build a legacy here at Patrick Taylor, and we're kind of that new kid on the block thing, and we just we're trying to build something great here, and it just takes, it takes time. But we look at other programs around the state, a lot of guys that you have on here, and we're trying to do what they're doing, just in our own way.
Look, I love that down there. So she was explaining where you're at down that Westwego area. Who do you think is the rival that you've established down there, Coach? Who is that? They're close to you, and this is the one.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a few, because we've got a lot of schools in a small area. In the metro area, there's a lot of schools. Haynes Academy comes to mind. It's kind of an East Bank, West Bank thing. They're the same type of school. It's an advanced studies, just on the East Bank side of the Mississippi. And so there's that East Bank, West Bank rivalry. But Thomas Jefferson's another one. It's a district game. They're really close to us. They're also an advanced study school, and they're on the West Bank. But it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know if they feel it, but the last couple years, it's been some battles with Chappelle. They came out on top a couple years ago, and we came out on top last year. And I know everybody's really been looking forward to that game. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. Well, actually next week. And it's just, for us, it's like we call those, measuring stick games. And when we go against these bigger schools and these perennial powerhouse teams like Chappelle and Destrehan and Hahnville, we use that as a measuring stick to see where we're at, and if we're ready yet. And so, those are the games that we really get up for. Again, if they feel that, I don't know, but I know Coach Scott at Chappelle really well, and so, we're friends. I have kids that play on my travel team, that play on that team, and a bunch of other teams. So those are really fun, and I would look at it as a rivalry type game.
Leah, when you see that type of a schedule, and like the one that's on here, you guys just had a big win against Dominican, but you've got Destrehan, Hahnville, Chappelle coming up. That's three pretty good games. How do you stay focused on that, Leah?
I take it one game at a time. It's something Coach Lance talked about a lot, and it's like slowing down and just looking at each individual game, and like in the game too, each individual pitch and each individual play. It helps you to stay focused on one game without feeling overwhelmed.
Coach, I don't know how you could have. I mean, that's got to make you excited to hear that type of maturity from just a sophomore.
Yeah, you got to love when what you're saying sinks in. Sometimes you don't really know if it is or not, but this team has done a great job of staying focused on the next game. We just talk about every game being an opportunity to be 1-0 on that particular day. You don't have to, if we had a 33 game schedule, and when you look at a 33 game schedule on paper, it is a little intimidating. How are we going to handle all of our classwork, how we're going to handle travel, how we're going to handle a lot of these things. But once you get into it, and you can take it one game at a time, it's like Leah said, it becomes manageable. And, softball is, your individual battle. So each at bat is a chance to win, you against the pitcher. And so if we take one inning at a time, one at bat at a time, at the end, we'll add it all up and see where we come out, but that's been our approach all season. And really from the beginning, I mean, it's a long stretch to get to the season, but once the season gets here, it goes extremely fast. So it's just a daily grind, and we've been trying to just get a little bit better each day.
57 days, in fact, from the opening day until the final one, and that doesn't count any Sundays that are on there. But you talked about putting it all together. You guys sit at the latest one that we picked up a couple hours ago, just outside that top four. But you talked about a 33 game schedule, and you're sitting there at 24-4, and you look at the four teams that you lost to. That's why you're sitting up where you're at in one of the toughest classes out there that sees one of the state's two undefeated teams sitting at number one.
Oh, no doubt. Division II select is an absolute monster. There's incredible pitching. We saw, last year. You look at all the best teams, and nobody lost anybody. When you
Right.
go, Hannon didn't lose anybody. Vanderbilt, Edie White, everybody's got all their kids back. We didn't lose Ashton. St. Charles was very young last year, made it all the way to the finals. Buckeyes right there. And all those same teams are right back at it again because they were all young. It's amazing that every team can be young like that. But I mean, it's a serious division. Some of the best teams in the state are in it, and it's going to be a battle to see who that top four ends up being, to get to Sulphur.
Look, and that's as big as anything. But you talk about the youth on here, and you've got one of the best one in the state behind the dish, and certainly anywhere on there. Leah, in the couple of years that you've been there, tell us maybe one of your favorite memories.
I think one of my favorite memories, I'd have to say it was a game. I think it was my first year playing, and I had on like the completely wrong socks. Like I had on blue, and we were supposed to be wearing like white socks. And I remember I was calling my parents, and I was freaking out. And then Eden, she's a really close friend of mine on the team, and she was like, "Leah, just hide it." And so I went the entirety of warm-ups trying to hide my blue socks. And I thought I got away with it. I did not get away with it. My coach called me. But like the whole like game of trying to hide it and then messing with Eden, it was one of my favorite memories.
Look, that's tremendous. We're going to try to top that right now. I know we've talked to Coach a lot about this too, but we've got what's called our Rising Stars All-Star game that comes up, and we try to select the 60 elite of the state of Louisiana, and it's freshmen, sophomore, and juniors only. And this is the first time that we've ever done this way because we like to do it in person, but y'all may be close to everybody down there, but up here, when you told me you were an hour plus beyond French Settlement, that's a long way to go. That was in the first place. But Leah, we want to officially extend an invitation to you to participate in our All-Star game this year, May 26th and 27th, and be one of the 60 elite stars of the rising stars of this state. You've definitely earned it, and would love to have you come up and play with us in that at LC.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I want to go. I plan to go. I'm getting my plans for it. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Look, that's got to, hopefully that'll rank up there close to the Blue Sox, huh?
Yeah, I think it tops it.
You think it topped it? Well,
yeah.
Coach, just visiting, as much as you've talked about her, and coaches like to build their players up. There's no doubt about it. The stats that we've looked at, but sitting here and visiting with her, and the high character person that I see that she is, there's not a better choice to have come up there to Central Louisiana and represent.
I can tell you, every umpire that we have comes up to me after a game and tells me how much they enjoyed working that game with Leah behind the plate. She's a great catcher and a great softball player, but Leah is an even better person. She is the sweetest kid, always a smile on her face, always in a good mood. I kind of got on her a little bit. Sometimes she's a little too nice to everybody. She gets caught up in making friends during the game and things like that. But it's just her personality, man. She's great, and I'm really excited for her to get this opportunity to play in that All-Star game.
Speak to that a little bit, Leah, about just making friends there.
I think a really big part of softball is that you're enjoying it. And I find, like, I'm a really big talker. Like, I'll admit it, I love talking. So, like, when I'm behind the plate, I like talking to umpires and the players. And it just makes it more fun for me. And, like, I really, really enjoy softball. And so, like, being happy with the people I'm around and with the umpires and enjoying the game is, like, a big part of why I love it so much.
Look, we're starting to get a lot of feedback, and I've got to believe that's folks that are from down there around your area. We'll go back through them. Brandy, she says woohoo on there. Della says congrats, and Lauren says a couple of different things. I don't know, but that's great. But it's your community. You can tell that you're certainly loved in it.
Yeah, I always feel the love from parents, from teammates, from my friends. Like that's like I said this earlier, but all the support I get from everybody, my coach, obviously Coach Lance and Coach Cam too, and all my teammates, it just makes me love the sport even more. It makes me love the program, and it just makes me want to come out there every day.
Well, we love to see that, and you see Shannon Neville's everything her coach said about her character is absolutely true. You can tell that it exudes it right off of you, Leah, and we are delighted to have you there. So if we need a speaker that night at the banquet, because the Tuesday night is the jersey presentation banquet on there, and if I need somebody to get up and say a few words, it might have to be you. Is that close?
Oh yeah, trust me, I got you.
Just make sure you block out plenty of time though. Don't make it a few words. Block out plenty of time for it.
Might be more than a few, just a couple more.
I mean, look, and so in the games that you're not playing in, because they'll rotate with 4 teams down, come on up in the booth and you can get on the headset and do some of the game with me in the broadcast booth. How's that?
Oh, sounds amazing.
Look, love it. Coach, let's do this again soon. Let's visit again. Technology has made it where we can do things. I know you've got 5 big ones coming up, but these 3 coming up are crucial. I'm not discounting those 2 at the end of the season, but anybody looks at that group, and let's take back a look at that. You guys will have Destrehan, Hanville, and Chappelle. And we just picked up players, 1 from Destrehan, and 2 from one from Hanville. No, we do have 1 from Destrehan in there. Jolie Lozano, I think is what it is.
Yep.
Hanville, we picked up London Lambert and Archbishop Chappelle. We got Mia Impastato and Taylor Allen. So look, this area down there is representing.
We are, man. There's a lot of good teams here. We played and faced London Lambert just 2 weeks ago at the Edie White tournament. She was fantastic. It was a 3-1 game. They came out on top. But we had this game scheduled. Those tournament games, you never know who you're going to get. And we don't really care who we play. We're willing to play anybody. Like when we enter a tournament, we never make any requests or, hey, give me an easy one or anything like that. We're looking to play against the best and again, like measuring stick games and find out where we're at. This schedule was done intentional with these teams on the back end. We want to be playing our best at the end of the season and into the first weekend in May, hopefully. So to do that, you got to test yourself and you got to challenge yourself. So we're excited about it. I know the girls, when the schedule came out, I don't believe Patrick Taylor has ever played Hahnville. They may not have played Destrehan before. There's been some games like when we played Dutchtown in a tournament. There's been games that the girls just get extremely excited about because that competitiveness comes out in them. And so they want the challenge. They want to face the better teams. So we did it intentional. And, look, I believe it's going to pay off by seeing those high level pitchers, because that's what you're going to have to do if you want to get all the way to Sulphur. You're going to have to beat those kinds of kids. So we're going to give ourselves some opportunities to go against some of the best in the state.
I love it. Leah, we'll finish up with you on this too, because we want to I know you've got homework in school and all of those things. So when you see these schedules and teams like this that you're playing, do you ever say, oh, I wish we weren't playing those teams?
No, I don't ever say that, because I trust that me and my teammates can get through it. And when I look at a team, I'm not looking at their record or who their pitcher is or who's the best, because I'm not worried about that, because I know that stuff doesn't matter, because I have a talented team. And I know I trust each one of my girls, and I trust Coach Lance and Coach Cam to know that we're probably going to win that game, and that I want us to win that game. So, no, I'm not ever afraid of a team or worried to play a team.
If you think I expected any different answer from you, that's crazy. And to say that I lobbed a softball up there, that certainly was it. But look, I've seen y'all pitch. I've seen no lobbing in this. These softball is such a sport. So we'll ask you one more time, Leah. What's been your favorite memory of your time there at Patrick Taylor?
I think probably getting the invitation.
There you go. We got it. Now we're gonna go with the Blue Sox thing too. I think that's great. But
We'll rank that up too.
yes, looking forward to seeing you guys up there. We want to see you in Frash for sure. We'll be down there covering that. Keep up the good work, and Coach, let's visit again soon.
Anytime, man. We really appreciate all y'all do for softball, and it makes everything feel bigger to have platforms like this. So thank y'all so much for everything y'all do. I know all of our parents and everybody's following the page, and they get really excited whenever they see anything get posted from us, so we really appreciate all you guys do. Thank you.
Look, you guys are certainly warranting it, and this may be against my better judgment, but Leah, I'm going to give you the last word. Anybody, anything you want to add to this? And I may have to bump my next guest about 20 minutes, but I'm going to give you the floor, Leah. Anything you've got to say? Any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah, actually, I do have a couple. I want to shout out my batting coach, Alyssa. She has been phenomenal. Like before this season, I had, I think, 4 career home runs. This season alone, I've hit 7 and then 1 in the preseason. And I want to attribute a lot of that to Alyssa. She taught me how to be confident, and she taught me about how so much of this game is mental. And she taught me how to conquer that side and how to learn. And then I want to shout out Coach Lance and Coach Cam because they've always been amazing. And they also taught me it was okay to mess up. Like before, I used to be really nervous about messing up and making an error. And so I used to make those errors, but now I'm not afraid anymore. Like it's not a big thing if I make a mistake or if I don't catch that 3rd strike. I know they're not gonna be mad at me. And then I also want to shout out Coach Law. He's my catching coach right now. And if you talk to anybody, you can see like ever since I've been going to him and Alyssa, I've just grown tremendously. And I'm really thankful for them. And then I want to shout out my travel ball coaches, Coach Ryan and Coach Christy. They're amazing. They're another reason I've grown so much, and I'm always thankful for them. And then my parents. My parents do everything for me. They're amazing. My mom and my dad drive me everywhere, and I'm able to do all of this because of them. And they're the best. Like they have bought me every new bat, all the gear. They've driven me to all those 4-hour away tournaments, and all this is really thanks to them.
Look, I absolutely love it, Coach, and I knew that she wasn't going to be one of those who went, I absolutely love it. And Leah, it was such a pleasure to meet you. We're going to let you guys get out of here. Coach Lance Rain, Patrick Taylor Tigers, and Leah Godoy, right?
Yes, sir.
See,
thank you.
I got it figured out down there in the big town of Oswego. Looking forward to following you all the way to Frash. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right. That's how we do it on a Dash for Frash type of night. Boy, now all of you that were on to watch Leah, I need to make sure that you stay and you don't go anywhere because there's always good information to go along. But if you have not followed the page, make sure that you do that. Now, one of those that does, and we'll see if this gentleman brings the same type of viewership and commenting to it because they've got a lot going on up in Minden, but it's our buddy, Coach Tyler Cox of the Apache Softball. And, Coach, welcome. Uh-oh, did he? There he is. There he is. He found it. It's tape delayed. Coach, you there with us?
Can't hear you right now.
You can't hear me? If you'll log out and log back in. Let me, we'll fix this and we'll get him to shoot him a text. This is the beauty of live is this happens. But I'm gonna tell you what, that's the first time that we've ever been able to visit with them, and I think that we could talk to Leah as just for hours. There's no doubt about it. Let's see if Coach is back there with us now. Coach, can you hear us now?
I got you now.
There you go. What's going on up there in the land of the Apache?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We're playing a lot of softball it seems like we're playing every night. I actually had some time off for once in my life this past weekend, but a lot going on. District championship tomorrow, so we're excited about that. We're ready to roll.
And you guys had one this afternoon, didn't you?
Yeah, we just got done a couple hours ago. We played Loyola out of Shreveport. Kind of got to a
And
slow
that one
start.
went another big win for you. What was that? 14-0.
14-0. Yeah. Kind of started off slow, but we got it going, got our bats going, and kind of did our own thing like we usually do.
We may, Coach. I'm gonna pull you out real quick. We'll try to get that going back up and get him back on here in just a moment on there. But yeah, they had that big one, and so the district championship. We'll want to talk to him a little bit about that as well. But again, thank you to Coach Lance Rain and Leah Godoy. There's Leah, our first ever invite to the tournament via the Dash for Fresh and the Pelican Softball Report. The first catcher on the board, too. She is our first catcher. We've got our eye on one tomorrow night that we're going to go visit with, too, and see. So we'll have that on there, and we'll get Coach Tyler back on there. Coach, how's it looking now?
I can hear you. I see you now. I moved a little bit, so hopefully it works now.
There you go. So when we were talking, you were talking about the game tonight with Loyola.
Yeah, we kind of started off slow, and I was kind of a little bit disappointed in that. But it's we're on spring break right now, so we're not in school. And then we had our senior night for Gabby tonight, and so I kind of expected that kind of a slow start, but we got it going. We finished what we were supposed to do.
Look, you celebrate seniors a lot of times. It's 3 or 4 of them, whatever it is. But what you lack in number, you made up in quality tonight. I don't know how many finer ones there are than Gabby Brown.
Yeah, that's right. She's definitely our leader, definitely a captain, definitely a huge part of us. Sad night having her senior night, but I told her I wasn't gonna cry before the game. But we're good. We got a long season ahead of us, so we're still looking forward to that.
One of the key questions before the game got started, I know you said you had your senior night. How was the field painting robot? How did that go?
The field painting robot had a tough day today. I think it got beat up on the baseball field, and I think I beat it up once or twice on the softball field. But I finally got it painted, and I actually got to paint number 13, Gabby Brown, on the side, so it looked really good tonight.
Look, there you go. Tell us about some of those younger players too. I mean, we were up there with your tournament early in the season, and we saw the likes of a number of them. Of course, Savannah in the circle has just had the tremendous year we knew she would. Hallie Sutton is there. Earnhardt is there. Tell us about some of those.
Hallie pitched tonight, so she had a great game tonight. She's actually been on a roll. She was, I've seen earlier, she was the player of the week for Minden Press or whatever, and she's been really hitting the ball well. She hit 2 tonight, and it's actually funny we're all talking tonight because she hit one right over that foul pole tonight, and I made sure to make sure it was fair, and I didn't give the umpire no choice because we were celebrating before he called it fair. But Savannah's being great. She's throwing out of her mind right now. She's doing phenomenal. She's hitting every pitch. She came to me the other night before we played one of our games. And she's like, I really want to work with you on spins and that kind of thing. So we worked on spins, and we hit a little bit. She struggled at the plate for a little bit on us. But we worked on it by ourselves, just me and her the other day, and she came back. I think she threw a no-hitter. And then tonight she was 2 for 3. So glad to see that one. Ellie's being herself. She's always hitting the ball. She actually got moving around. She's at third base playing some, and she looks really good there. And she likes second, so we keep her there. But she's hitting the ball well like she always does. And then Gracie Hurd, she's swinging the bat well like she always does. Just doing everything right. Addison Chandler, Kenzie Smith, they're all playing well right now. We've played very well the last few weeks.
Look, a lot of those folks, certainly household names to us here at 446 Sports after spending time up there and loved it. Look, tell me, you started talking about your district championship game tomorrow night. Give us some insight on that.
We got Cedar Creek tomorrow. They beat us last year. We had quite a few errors. They're a good team. They're well coached. They're going to give us a good game. I think we can go out. If we play our game, we're going to be all right. But we just have to do our thing. It's a big game. It's our big rival here at Glenbrook, I guess. I think we're their rival too. But it's just another game for us. I told the girls today, it's just another game. Go out and play our game, and let's go win the thing.
And that's what you like. You like to be able to be playing in those meaningful games. And I know that at the first of the season, everybody's got the same couple of goals on there. You want to win district and you want to get down to Frash and win it, not just get there. And you were telling us that you as a coach hadn't been to Frash.
I have not been to Frash. I've been a part of some big district championship games. I haven't made it to Frash yet. I've been there my whole life since I was a kid. I haven't coached in it yet, but I think I have the team to do it. I think they're ready to go. We went down to the Sulphur tournament last weekend, I guess, and just kind of prepared ourselves for the atmosphere because we all know that's a great atmosphere. It's something different down there. So we kind of prepared for that. We got 3 wins, and we played well down there.
If you're not prepared, you've got to have that experience. That's why you see so many people go down to that Sulphur tournament, because you've got all the fields going on. We've talked about it on this show a lot. You've got the fields going on around you. There may be screaming off to your right or your left or behind you, and you've got to stay focused.
That's right. It's a tough atmosphere. We talked about it before we went down there. It's like there's going to be a lot going on. There's going to be games beside you. There's going to be foul balls coming at you. But just lock into our game and do what you're supposed to do. And the girls did it. We played well. I don't think we had very many mistakes for sure. And we hit the ball like we were supposed to. We just had a good weekend. So I was glad to see that down there. And then we'll hopefully be back down there in a couple of weeks.
Well, chop it up again on this a little bit, Coach. So I'm going to.
Is that Glenbrook Wi-Fi for you?
Yeah, we're going to. Let's see. You may have to move a little bit again. Yep, there you go. I think I got you back now.
I got you. Hopefully we work, maybe.
Yep, that worked.
All
there
right.
you go. So, well, Coach, it looks like it's getting choppy on the two. So we'll visit again, but I appreciate you taking time to spend with us tonight. Congratulations on your big night tonight, and let Gabby know congratulations to her for senior night too. And we look forward to following that championship game tomorrow night between you and Cedar Creek.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
There goes Coach Tyler Cox, and we'll visit with him from time to time, but always great to have him. Look, want to thank Coach Lance Rain for joining us, Liga Doy for joining us. They've got 3 big ones up there too. We told you about games that we had seen. We've got a couple of minutes left. If you've got a game that you saw or that you recognized that there was a big pitching performance or batting performance, you've still got about a minute or 2 left to throw it down in the comments. We're going to take an opportunity to go through let's jump over to the select power rankings and go through that. And that's one he was talking about was Archbishop Chappelle back on top. They lost 2 of 3 this weekend against some tough opponents up in Quitman. Mount Carmel had taken over top spot in Select Division 1 just for a minute. But Chappelle and the Chips are right back there. Pineville sits at number 3 in this one. Allison Fry in that group. Coach Brad Woodard and the Lady Indians at Tioga round out the top 4. Ponchatoula and the Lady Wave. Shout out to Ponchatoula and Coach Jeremy Harper. They got us this Lady Wave softball gear, so we appreciate that without a doubt. Let me get back to where we were and look at some more of these. Alexandria sits at number 6. Defending champion John Curtis is at number 7, and Turling's Catholic rounds things out. Boy, they've got a good squad. They're going to be one on the outside that has an opportunity. You get to that Division 2 that we talked about with Coach Rain a little earlier. Vanderbilt Catholic, one of 2 only remaining undefeated teams. They sit at 21-0, and let's take a look at the week that they have coming up ahead of them. They'll go to Morgan City and Belle Chase and Central Lafourche before a season-ending game at home as they host Archbishop Chappelle. So it's going to be a good one. St. Michael is at 6, Buckeye at 7, and Haynes Academy, one of those that he talked about, rounds out the top 8. Going into Division 3, it's been all Calvary all the time. The 5-time state champions, 5-time back-to-back. Well, anyway, you get the point. Poised again, the state's highest power rating at 35.84, 29-0 on the season. A win over Pineville in which they were trailing in, but put up 5 runs in the 6th inning. to win that thing 7-2, and then big wins over Quitman and Chappelle this weekend, Saturday in the Quitman tournament. Notre Dame, Coach Del Sarra and that group back on it. They sit at 23-2. Darbone Woods, we told you, a Jolie Bennett single, had a walk-off in that game to beat Quitman. North Lake Christian is there. St. Louis Catholic is there. St. Thomas Aquinas and ULAB rounds out the top 8. Sitting on the outside, Bunkie there at 11. Expect them to finish strong through this. In Division 4, Riverside Academy leads the way. That Glenbrook Apache softball team that we talked to just a moment ago sits at number 2 in that one. They are almost 2 points back, a point and 0.75 in that. Ascension Catholic sits at number 3. Covenant Christian is number 4. Central Private, a team that was a playoff team last year that lost to the eventual state champions from Menard. They sit at number 5. Number 6 is St. John. Number 7, Sacred Heart. And rounding out the top 8 is St. Mary's. Just on the cusp is Holy Savior Menard. They had big wins this weekend. They knocked off Ash, and let's see the other one that they had, Barb and Alexandria. They beat. And so they're starting to peak at just the right time, no doubt about it, on there. Guys, it has been a lot of fun tonight. We were able to visit and make our way around. We were up in Minden, North Louisiana. We were down in West Wego down there. And that's what we're going to start doing on our way to the Dash for Frash, because I think that we're able to cover a lot more this way. We still will have some streams, and we're going to get off of here and go back in there and start getting some of our updates. So make sure, if you've not followed the 446 Sports page, that you do that. If you're on YouTube, you can go over there and subscribe. We're nearing 7,000 subscribers. You guys are flat out amazing for the support that you give us. So again, if you have updates, if you have anything, send a message to us. Somebody told me, says, look, we can't post pictures or videos on your page. No, because we get spammed continuously from the link, and this game is live streamed here or this and that. So we don't do that. If you have a highlight, if you have 100 strikeout graphic or 150 strikeout graphic or a career milestone, send that into our inbox so that we'll have that. Congratulations to Patrick Taylor and the work that they're doing. Leah Godoy, the sophomore, the 2028, is our first catcher off the board. We appreciate that. Stay tuned for tomorrow night. You'll want to hear who our next catcher is off the board. But for our friends down there, Patrick Taylor, Coach Tyler Cox, all of you that tuned in tonight, we appreciate that, and we will be back here tomorrow night. So until then, the Dash for Frash rolls on. I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.